How you doing, my friends? What's happening? Of course, me once again. Probably tired of seeing me by now. No, not really. But it's a Saturday night. It's cold outside, and I don't know. I felt like watching something once again from the '80s and stuff. I know it's kind of strange. I went from a war movie that's in the present to now this movie. Well, it's one of those weird days. I'm just all over the fucking place. And it's more fun that way. Then you guys don't know what's coming next. But there's a movie from 1984 called Fear City. It's actually a film directed by the one and only Abel Ferrara, whatever. That's it, Abel Ferrara. Same guy before this, he had directed Miss 45, which I kind of regret that Mike had it up on his channel all that time and shit. That I didn't download the movie or whatever, but it was up there with stuff. He probably has it on the channel there, but all those links are from the mega upload links. They're gone and stuff. And everything like that. So that's long. I cannot see that now. And so maybe I just look for clips to look up on YouTube or whatever, see what I think of the movie. Because I know it's his big movie. And he did this film, which this was like a so-so film. A lot of people didn't care for it that much. There's an interesting backstory behind the movie. Actually, originally, this film was made by 20th Century Fuckface. I'm not calling that for a good reason. I mean, but you guys know why I call him that, much as everyone else does know why we call him that. But this was a movie that was distributed by them at one point. It was made by them. But what happened was, halfway through, they were getting ready to put the finishing touches on it or whatever, to get it ready for release. They realized the movie had a lot of sex, nudity, a lot of violence and stuff. So I guess these people did not see Ava Ferrara's Miss 45 then. They didn't know who the fuck they got. And a movie about, I mean, I'll get into the plot in a minute. So they went the last minute and they sold the film to some little Aquarius, I don't know, some independent distributors or whatever, and they did what they can to release the film or whatever, and everything like that. Probably didn't help much and everything. But the cast for the movie is interesting. The writer behind this movie is Nicholas St. John. There's the guy who will go on to work with Abel Ferrara again in King of New York. I think this movie called The Funeral, which I haven't seen, and everything like that. And I think he's also an actor as well. I think he acted in one of the episodes of Miami Vice, I think, from what I read up on IMDb. The movie got sort of a fan base, I guess. Got a 5.3 and everything like that. I don't know if this is officially on DVD or not or whatever, but I was able to get it and stuff like that. If I knew another place where it's clean to upload a movie or whatever, like Mediafire and all that, how to get to that site and it was easy to upload, I will put in a link and then put it down below, but I don't know. It's so hot right now and stuff with that shit. So I'm waiting for Mike to take the chance or whatever, if he wants to do it or not, but it's okay, you know. It's very dangerous stuff, you know, especially with FBI and shit involved, those people and everything. And of course, this movie was heavily cut by the Maricon Puto Association of Assholes, so you had 2 strikes against this film already, you know. And in the film, there is no uncut version of this film, so you can see why. Basically, I'll go into the plot of the movie. This movie is stars Tom Berenger, Jack Scalia. You guys remember? I don't know if you remember from that. I always remember from this UPN series called Point Man. I know he was in that one. I think he's in that movie The Rift or Endless Descent. The other title goes by. I know he's Matt's favorite actor. Matt likes him and stuff. Jack Scalia. Billy D. Williams, actually, this was, I think, one of the first movies he did right after Return of the Jedi. So that's strange. He goes from driving the Millennium Falcon in the climax of Return of the Jedi to being this persistent New York cop. The movie takes place in New York, like a lot of Abel Ferrara's movies and everything like that. And it has a dark tone to it, like many people compare it to like the way Maniac is or the way Lucio Fucci's New York Ripper is. But New York Ripper is just ridiculous because the killer sounds like Donald Duck, and you can't take a movie like that seriously with it. He sound like Donald Duck Maniac, well, you guys know my thoughts on Maniac. I don't have to go into that, but calls me a blowjob. Anyway, you would have seen the titties on this one, you would have been pissed too. Alright, man. So anyway, I don't know what to go into this one. Okay, so you have Billy D. Williams, stays place in New York, and Jessica Lee. You got an early role by Melanie Griffith. She plays a stripper in the film. Ray Don Chong is in here for a little bit as well. Basically, the gist of the story is New York City, right? There's these strippers in Times Square, or I guess some parts of the city. It's back in the 80s, before one of our mayors, I guess Giuliani or whatever. I think it was Giuliani that did it, Mayor Giuliani. Cleaned up Times Square and moved Disney over there and shit. And like that. That's gonna stop the prostitution. Yeah, right. Gonna have a bunch of hookers dressed up like Disney characters. Snow White and some pimp dressed up like some guy outside of a strip club trying to get people to come in dressed up like Captain Jack Sparrow. Come on! Come on! That was an old joke. Or hookers dressed up like Minnie Mouse with the big Disney head and everything. Yeah, right. That was an old joke my uncle told me one time right there. I know he said it better than me, I know that, but it got cleaned up. This was back in the early 80s when you got that sleazy feel to it and stuff and everything like that. Now, it's not like that no more, sad to say. No. I wish it was, but it's not. Yeah, so there you have all these strippers, I guess, in part of New York, and you could say Times Square pretty much. And you have these two guys. Tom Berenger plays Matt Rossi, Matteo Rossi. Everybody calls him Matt Rossi. And you have his buddy Jack Scally, who plays Nicky. These are two guys, obviously Italian Americans. They're playing. Who they have this agency where they have women, and they basically are the guys that they're the ones that get strippers to go work at the clubs and stuff, like kind of like a talent agency type of shit, But for the strippers, and one of the strippers is actually Maria Conchita Alonso, but we don't see her naked though. But she's in the movie briefly, so that's nice to see her there go and everything. So they go into the club, and the movie's got a lot of titties in it. I was gonna show the trailer, but the trailer's got titties in it too. And I know my channel is private and everything like that, but that's the last thing I need now. When I got unlimited time, then show a trailer with tits. Forget about it. I'd be a lot of trouble. I'm surprised that trailer's still up. So what I might do is maybe I'll put a link to the trailer, or what I'll try to do if it works, down below, not by my balls, but by the tags, I'll put Fear City 1984 trailer, and I'll see if it pops up in the suggestions, which should be right over there, if I'm not mistaken. Where it says suggestions on top, you see a lot of shit on the side. Hopefully, something will connect to this movie. It has a good opening song, which I don't even know if it's on YouTube or whatever. I was trying to find it so I could put it with the review, but there's nowhere to be found and shit. So you have these two guys there. They go to the club and everything like that. See, very young Melanie Griffith. Decent titties, not too bad, See some big black titties. You see some tiny ones, big ones, little ones. That's a lot of tits. It's a strip movie about strippers. Of course, you're going to have nudity in there, of course. But 20th Century Fox don't like the titties. That's why he gave it away. And shit, which sucks. So they're basically seeing this old guy who's the owner of the club. He's got some comic relief stuff in there. Michael V. Gazzo, who plays Mikey, who passed away in 1995, 71 years old. They did a good job for what he had to do. He's kind of like a little comic relief there. He's the owner of the club. Basically, Matt and Nikki, they go there to try to get money out of the guy or whatever, because they had brought the women over there, and each time they have women there and it makes money, they get a cut of the profit, a little cut of there, and stuff like that. Plus, I think the club is also connected somehow to the Italian mob or whatever. But these guys are sort of independent, so they get a little cut for themselves or whatever. Like that. So at least the mob is there for the little protection or whatever and shit. So we find out we have Melanie Griffith, who plays Loretta, who we find out, I guess, kind of had a past with Tom Berenger's character, Matt. And that's right, Matt, you messed around with Melanie Griffith way back when. Yeah, but I was a little kid. Well, you were her first, and she was your first. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But anyway, nah. So, but Melanie Griffith unfortunately has a relationship, or at least a little fling going on. Ray Don Chong. No, we don't see any lesbianism stuff in there because it's 1984. If there was, I wouldn't bet the Maricon Puto Association of assholes, probably went and fucked it up and cut everything to shreds. Cause you see the little jump cuts sometimes, especially when you get to the thing where one of the strippers is attacked outside the club in an alleyway by this killer who uses martial arts. The first woman, he takes scissors and cuts her fingers off. She lives though. The second one's actually Ray Don Chung's character. She gets slashed across her forehead, blinded by her blood. I guess killed off camera. At least from what we know. Oh, not really killed, but she's put in a critical condition. Eventually she dies. Another girl who has a big Doberman. I guess the killer fucks up the Doberman. I don't know how. And he has nunchucks and beats her to death with nunchucks. Some people might find this a little amusing. Like, wow, the killer's using martial arts against all these women. Yeah, it's crazy motherfucker. And interesting enough is throughout the movie, we do not know the name of the killer or whatever like that. And we don't even know who the actor is. Now, to me, that's just... And a lot of people on IMDb are investigating. I see people on the little forums, they're arguing about this shit. One guy saying, no, he was in this movie, that movie, that... And stuff. That's insulting to the actor to me, Really, you don't put his name down on the end credits. That's fucked up. He's just there. It's kind of like if you did Vice Squad. I mean, Vice Squad, I think, is a better fleshed out story than this one. But I guess this one's a watchable movie. It's watchable. Vice Squad, I think, is better. I think I would like to revisit this again. Angel from the 80s, which came out the same year, ironically, 1984. Has more going for it than this film, but even Savage Street, if you think about it, I mean, Savage Street is probably the king of them all. But going back to the plot, so the killer runs around killing these women left and right, fucking them up, and then you got Billy D. Williams, who's this detective who is trying to find out what the fuck is going on. He wants Tom Berenger to cooperate. Tom Berenger doesn't want to help no fucking cops and stuff like that. And Billy D. Williams is pretty good in the role. I mean, playing the tough New York cop, not PC. He says he calls the Italians grease balls and all the stuff like that or whatever and everything. Very has exploitation feel over it, obviously, and the way the movie feels, very like 80s dark tone, but it works. You get a lot of little exposition about Tom Berenger's character. We learned he was an ex-boxer, and he was doing this big fight in the ring. We see in flashback until he actually killed the guy in the ring. And he feels very guilt-ridden about it and stuff. Since then, he gave up the boxing boxing business, and he went into this little business with his buddy, Jack Scalia's character, Nicky, and everything like that. Same time, he's trying to get back with Melanie Griffith's character, we find out her character had a drug problem, and throughout the movie she loses. I mean, she falls off the wagon, so to speak, or whatever. But the movie's 96 minutes long. Some people are mixed on the film. It's a movie that you will either like it or hate it. Because some people say, is it supposed to be like a slasher? Is it supposed to be exploitation? Is it supposed to be a mafia movie? Now, I can see the slasher thing. I can see the exploitation because of the nudity and the titties and stuff. And the words, language that's un-PC, of course. It was 84 and stuff like that. But some people say they have problem liking Tom Berenger's character or Jack Scalia. I mean, they're not pimps. If anything, these guys are running an agency that caters to strippers or to help women get into the strip clubs and stuff. That's all they're doing and stuff like that. Jack Scalia makes a big fuck up his character. He sees a guy in the club who has an X-Acto blade in his inside jacket, and him and another guy who owns another club who's a friend of theirs, Joe Santos, who you guys remember him from as the cop in Last Boy Scout, who's always giving Bruce Willis a hard time. He was also had a small part in Blue Thunder. He was also in that Damon Wayans movie, Mo Money. decent actor and stuff. He plays a guy there. Fun sequence where they try to ambush the guy and the guy breaks Joe Santos's nose. And then they realize they got the wrong fucking guy. And he's like, you got the wrong guy? Look at my fucking nose! You got the wrong guy? Get the fuck out of here! And I say it more funny than he was saying it though, but it was something more or less like that. But the movie's a watchable movie. I don't think it's a mean-spirited movie. I know some people want to see the uncut version. And it leads to a good climax in the end where Tom Berenger starts hunting down this killer. And the killer does these things where he does this martial arts kata or whatever, you know, negative. Like, well, I don't know what the hell that purpose of that is besides blinding me. I'm blind and shit. And everything like that. I guess maybe William Sadler must have seen this movie before he did that in Die Hard 2. It's like, I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do katas naked. You know, all that stuff. I said, I don't know. I'm not that. William Sadler did it better though. Which I don't want to see none of them. I'm blind. I want to see that shit. Wear underwears or something. Don't put a karate gi on or something. It's ridiculous. Don't not get naked. Now, if it was Shannon Lee or Cynthia Rothrock naked doing katas, they're like, all right, I'm in for this, but no such thing. Plus, yeah, I heard Shannon Lee got tattoos, so I'd be curious about that. It's like, oh, wait. But anyway, so at least a good climax in the end. We get some people might call bullshit on it because all the killers are martial artists and Tom Berenger's a boxer. But you know, like they say, you know, I like to believe in order to win the battle or fight, a physical fight, you know, your person has to be an underdog in a way, help you root for him a little more. And they're like that. Even though some people had trouble rooting for him, I didn't mind him that much, the character. Maybe this movie suffered a lot in the cutting room floor. Probably that's what it is. Maybe there was more to the character and stuff. Because he's a guy that didn't want to kill or, you know, he wanted to try to, you know, put his life back together, I guess, to get with Melanie Griffith's character. But this thing with the women being killed. And then the mob people putting pressure on him, thinking that it's a rival guy who has an agency of women too, maybe doing it, but he's not doing it and stuff. So now, you know, one thing leads to another. Now he's got to, you know, step up and stuff. So I liked the climax. A lot of people have problems with it, but I didn't mind it. So where do I stand with this film? I think it's a time waster at most. I mean, you know, if you guys like these type of films, the early 80s, you know, the sleaziness the movie has to it, I say go for it, you know, go for it. Why not, you know? I think Tom Berenger does a good job in the lead. Jack Scalia is not bad. Billy D. Williams as the cop is good. It'd be nice if he had a little more to do, but he's there for what he has to do. It's good to see Melanie Griffith in an early role. Ray Don Chung, and a little bit she's in the film. Maria Conchita Alonso as well. No, we don't see her naked, but hey, you know, not bad. And stuff. So my rating for this movie would be, at most, I would say a 7.5 out of 10. In all honesty, really. I mean, would I watch this over Vice Squad? No. You know, would I watch this over? I can't think of some bad direct-to-DVD horror movies or no slasher movies. Yes, because it's sort of like a slasher because the guy's running around. Granted, he's fucking up women with martial arts and stuff like that. Okay, I'm up for this. I heard that Abel Ferrari did a movie called The Driller Killer, which I seen clips of that. That looked like a movie I don't even want to waste my time with. I don't know. This Matt's seen it. Matt can tell me more about Driller Killer or whatever. I know that girl that used to be on YouTube, Lori or Matt Puppet, she loved that movie. Like, she had a lot of different incarnations of the movie. She had a Betamax version, she had a VHS version, she had a Laserdisc, she had a DVD. So she was a big fan of The Driller Killer or whatever, that movie and stuff. Me, I don't know. And stuff. But that was one of the Abel Ferrara movies. I know I heard good things about Bad Lieutenant from a lot of people, even people at work telling me, check it out, it's a good movie. It's good, check it out, check it out. Like, I find it to watch, I'll check it out. I'm not gonna waste my time with the Nicolas Cage, I guess, sequel that's in name or remake or whatever the fuck that is. Or whatever. I seen trailer for that, look like shit and stuff. But this one, I think it's a time waster for what it is, you know. 7.5 out of 10 is the rating for this. And thank you all for watching this 20-minute review. One part. I'm not getting a kick out of this shit, man. But thank you all for watching. 7.5 out of 10. The rating for Fear City. If you can find it to watch, go for it. You know. And stuff. Once again, I'll try to see if I can put the link to the trailer down there or in the tag, so it can pop up in the suggestions right there on the side. If I'm pointing in the right direction, hopefully. Was on that side, on this side. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So thank you all for tuning in once again, and have a good night.